All right, let's talk about it. That check engine light pops on, your Ford starts acting strange, and the scanner spits out a P0882 code. I know, it's frustrating. But hey, don't sweat it. You're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down what this code is all about and, more importantly, how you can get your truck shifting smoothly again. Let's jump right in. So, you plug in that scanner, and there it is, P0882. Now, I know it looks like just a random jumble of letters and numbers, but it's not. It's actually a super specific message from your truck. Think of it like a distress signal coming from a really, really important part of your transmission's electrical system. So, let's go ahead and decode it. Okay, so first things first. What is this P0882 warning light trying to tell you? Well, you can think of it as your Ford's way of saying, hey, there's a problem with my power supply. And this isn't some vague warning either. It points to a very precise electrical issue that, lucky for us, we can track down. So what exactly is your Ford saying? To put it simply, the code means that a supercritical component, basically the electronic brain of your entire automatic transmission, isn't getting the juice it needs to work right. Let's take a closer look at what that component actually is. And here it is, the star of our show, the Transmission Control Module, or TCM for short. This little computer is the boss. It's in charge of every single gear shift your truck makes. So you can imagine, when it doesn't have enough power, it just can't do its job, and it sends out that P0882 code as a cry for help. Now here's the magic number, 9 volts. This is the key. That P0882 code gets triggered the very moment the TCM realizes its power input has dipped below that 9-volt threshold. So it has a really clear line in the sand for what it considers a low-voltage emergency. So how does this whole electrical problem actually feel when you're driving? Oh, you'll feel it for sure. When the TCM is in trouble, your car might go into what's called limp mode, where it gets stuck in just one gear, like third or fifth, just to protect itself. You'll probably also notice some really harsh, clunky shifts. That's because the system defaults to maximum line pressure. And hey, you might even see that battery light turn on, which is another big clue. Okay, so we know the problem is low voltage getting to the TCM, and we know what the symptoms feel like. But what's actually causing that voltage to drop? Well, we can pretty much narrow it down to 4 common culprits. Think of this as our list of usual suspects. And here they are. It could be something as simple as a faulty battery, or you might have some loose power or ground wiring. It could also be a corroded connector on the powertrain control module. That's the main computer for the whole engine and transmission. And in some cases, the TCM itself might have just failed. I can almost guarantee you one of these 4 is the root cause of that P0882 code. Now that we have our suspects lined up, we need a plan of attack, right? Instead of just guessing and throwing parts at it, we're going to use a diagnostic checklist. This is absolutely the smartest, most efficient way to pinpoint the exact problem. We're going to work smart, not hard. We'll start with the simplest and most common stuff first and work our way to the more complex things. So we start with the battery because, it's super easy to test. Then we move on to just looking at the wires and connectors. Only after we've ruled all that out do we even start to think that the TCM itself might be the issue. And listen, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. More often than not, the problem is something simple. Seriously, a weak battery or a wire that's just a little bit loose can trigger this whole thing. Always check these simple things first. It could save you a ton of time and money. Okay, so we've got our suspects and we've got our checklist. Now it's time for the best part. Matching those causes to their fixes. For every single potential problem we've identified, there's a pretty straightforward solution. The path from finding the problem to fixing it is really clear. If your checklist points you to a faulty battery, you test it, and if it's bad, you replace it. Simple. If you find some loose wiring, you just tighten or repair those connections. Spot some green gunk, corrosion on the PCM connector, clean it up. And if you've checked everything else and nothing works, then the solution is to replace the TCM. So there you have it. That confusing, frustrating P0882 code isn't such a mystery anymore, is it? You've now got the code, a list of suspects, and a checklist. The puzzle is totally solvable. You've basically just turned that annoying warning light into a clear plan of action. The only question left is, what's going to be the culprit behind your P0882 code? Now that you have the roadmap, you're totally equipped to find the answer and get your Ford shifting the way it's supposed to. Good luck with the diagnosis. You got this.